Today I'm covering 5 mistakes you should avoid as a freelance designer. I actually planned to make a different video today, but unfortunately my Illustrator wouldn't stay open with Streamlabs, so I couldn't record my process on Illustrator. So hopefully that should be coming next week, or I might have to focus on getting a better computer for this. But I'll see when the time comes and we'll see what we can do about that. And really quickly before we get into it, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the support and subscribing and liking the videos. All of that means so much to me, and all of the feedback as well really helps. Thank you guys so much, and let's get into it. So the first one I think is a big problem for a lot of people in a lot of different ways is poor time management. One thing that should be understood if you're looking to get into freelance graphic design is that it is much more work than a full-time job. If you're looking to get into this because you're not passionate about it and you're just interested in the money aspect, I highly recommend going somewhere else because it takes a long time to get started and get income on here. And this is because you're not only a designer at this point, you're responsible for the advertising, the designing of course, invoicing, all the accounting work, all the sales, every single customer relation. Really every single side of a business relies on you at that point. If you want to improve your chances of seeing success being a freelance graphic designer, you have to put a lot of time and effort and dedication into all of these things that surround your business. In the future, I plan to make a video on how to combat a lot of these poor time management issues that people face. And if you're watching this in the future, that video might already be up. If it is, I'll have a card linking to it right now. The second one I see a lot within freelance graphic designers, and that is undervaluing your work. And this is largely stemming from the fact that you may be inexperienced or you don't think you're going to get the sale just because your prices are what they are. I really understand where this confusion comes from because it's hard to put a price on a service, especially if you're inexperienced or you don't have a formal education on it. To start feeling satisfied with how much you're charging, I would try to estimate how many hours it'll take to complete a project, as well as how much you think an hour of your time is worth, and then just multiply those two numbers together on a project's cost, and there you go. One thing to keep in mind though is that you should always provide more value to the client than you're charging. So let's say you're working with a beer company and you're creating all their packaging and whatnot. You want to make sure that you're providing more value to them through that package design or those package designs than you're actually charging. So for example, my friend Tyler Mack runs a service called Send a Friend where you can order a stuffed animal to be shipped to your friend anywhere in the world. And let's say he approaches me looking for a package design for each of these animals. So Tyler actually does very well with this brand, but let's say for this example that he only sells 100 bears a year at $10 a bear. So right off the bat, I know if he wants 5 packages and I charge him $1,000 for that, that's not going to provide very much value for him because that's $1,000 and he sells 100 bears a year at $10 a bear. It's going to take him a year just to recoup the package design. And this type of structure might make more sense for a larger company, but for something like 100 bears a year, it definitely doesn't make sense. So you have to make sure that you're factoring in the value to the client. So the third mistake to avoid as a freelance graphic designer is poor communication with clients. And to preface this, I get most of my clients through word of mouth at this point, honestly. So if I have poor communication with a client, that reflects poorly on me. That client might not recommend me to others or might even say my services are bad to others and they won't come to me either, so I lose a part of my business. And this can be the exact same in your case. So making sure you have good communication with your clients can really help with your long-term growth in graphic design. And if they say bad things about you, it can lead to a domino effect in your clientele in the future or even currently in your current clients. So the fourth one is not having a process in your design, and this is inspired by George Nowak. He does streams on Twitch, he's a good friend of mine, and he actually did a whole stream on having a process and how that can help you and benefit you in your design. His Twitch will be in the description, so feel free to go check it out. He normally streams every Saturday. Creating goals initially can be very daunting, but if you create steps to complete those goals, it can help the pathway to reach that goal go a lot smoother. So for example, let's say I need to rebrand a client and do the intro, outro, logo design. Let's say I need pretty much everything, the whole package, to put on this person's YouTube channel. And this is actually a project I have right now, so this is what I did for it, and I created different goals in this project. So I think the first step was the direction he wants to go in, because he linked me one of my references, but I actually had a separate idea that I wanted to try, so I tried both. He approved the one I wanted to try that was a little bit out of my comfort zone, and then started with the banner, and then did the outro and the intro, the transitions, kind of just every step to create the full package at the end, because the end package, of course, when I first got the project, I was like, wow, that's a lot of work. I don't even know where to get started. But when you start mapping out those little steps, it can really help. The fifth mistake to avoid as a freelance graphic designer is not utilizing social media. And a ton of graphic designers that I know in real life in Saskatoon here that do graphic design for businesses or freelance, they never use social media. And I have a good feeling that if it happens in my city, it's likely happening in your city somehow. And I know a lot of people that just watch YouTube videos to learn, but they don't really engage in the community online as much. My friend Sesso, he's also a graphic designer for 100 Thieves, just as well as George is. He runs a huge Discord for all levels of designers, so if you're just starting or if you're super advanced, it's kind of just a place to gather for everyone where they can find work. He has a bunch of different forums on there and whatnot, so you can feel free to check that out. I'll link it in the description. It's also really important to make sure you're established on other social medias like Twitter, Instagram, Dribbble, Behance, LinkedIn. Really anywhere you can put your brand and your name on is just another place that clients might be able to find you. So I mean, why not? Even just creating the profile and posting every once in a while, it can go a long way. Obviously, the more active you are, the more people are going to see you and the more people are going to follow you and reach out to you for work. It's also important to engage with the other community members, and that can really help grow your page organically alongside posting your content. Those are all the 5 mistakes to avoid as a freelance graphic designer. I greatly appreciate you watching, and I'm probably going to try and fix my computer now so I can hopefully have the video in Adobe Illustrator next week. But I appreciate everyone viewing, and if you viewed this far, please like the video if you did enjoy, or please subscribe if you're not subscribed already and you want to see more content from me. I'm really excited to be putting out more content every week, and I hope you guys have a great day, and peace out.